It's, hello? Nope, 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 nope. How about now? No? Yes? No? Nope? Uh-uh. If you just clear out all the red buttons, it works. Great, great. Okay, it's 6 o'clock and I will call to order the Plainfield Charter Township Board meeting for February 14th, 2022. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. So we will start our meeting with an invocation and then followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Susan Morrow.
Let's bow our heads together. Our Heavenly Father, we ask you to be with us as we gather to conduct the business of Plainfield Township. Even though this is a cold winter day, we ask you to guide our thoughts to the many blessings that we have in our community. We celebrate tonight the work of our water department as it provides outstanding, tasteful water for our area. Guide us to see the good in all of that's around us. Let your light shine through us that you will guide our way. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Susan, and thank you, everyone. Next item on our agenda is public comments. So if there's anyone who would like to make a public comment at this time, now's your opportunity. Don't really see much public, but okay. So I will close the floor to public comments at this time. And we will move on to the review of the consent agenda. Any questions, concerns, comments from the board? Otherwise, I would look for a motion to approve the agenda, including the consent agenda and accounts payable.
I move to support the agenda, including the consent agenda and the accounts payable.
Thank you, Jack. Support?
Second.
Thank you, Kathleen. Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Morrow.
Yes.
Mr. Hagedorn.
Yes.
Mr. Brinkman.
Here.
Ms. Beatty.
Yes.
Ms. Postma, yes. Mr. Coleman.
Yes. Don, are we ready, or is your person here? Okay, how about if Jen, do you have any commentary?
Well, I just want to welcome Don to the podium tonight, and it's a great night for Plainfield Charter Township and for the board. This award tonight is a reflection of the work and the decisions that this board has made, as well as the previous boards, and the excellent work of our staff. So, Don, if you wouldn't mind making the introductions?
Yes, I'd like to introduce Aaron Davenport. He's a representative of the Michigan section of the American Water Works Association. He's also a senior vice president and engineer with Jones and Henry engineering firm. Go ahead, Aaron.
Hey, thanks, Don. And I'm a little bit taller than he is, so sorry about that. I am here to congratulate you and your water department on being the, it is a blind taste test with judges. It starts in our regional meetings, where you guys won the Mount Pleasant region this year, Gaylord region this year. And then ultimately goes typically to our annual conference, but this year, because of COVID, things are, of course, a little wacky. So the competition was actually last Tuesday at the Joint Expo, which is a giant educational session for all the operators. In a runoff again for time. It's incredibly tense. A lot of teeth gnashing, a lot of fists about to fly. But in the blind Pepsi challenge style taste test, you guys were the winners. You should be incredibly proud of that. To Great Water hasn't. You guys get to represent the state at the national competition in June in San Antonio. So, congratulations. Thank you. Do you have questions?
Any questions for Aaron? Otherwise, Aaron, oh, Kathy?
Just explain to us who it was who did the judging of this.
Yeah, so typically, so I run the competition. My goal is always to have a good spectrum of users, right? So this year we had a member of the AWWA board on it. We also had a representative of the Lansing Center. So to me, they're the customer end of things. And we were also fortunate to have the new director of the Michigan Water Environment Association. That's wastewater. So, you know, we all kind of play in that one water sphere. So it was interesting to have a wastewater person's perspective.
Thank you.
Okay, well, Aaron, thank you very much for coming tonight.
My pleasure.
Rick? Yes. Matt? And Don? On behalf of the board, thank you for what you do. You guys are a shining star. If you'd like to say something, come on up and. The only thing you can't talk about is
I'd also
my-
like to say good job for you guys with the carafes of water and the, I go to these things a lot of times and see a lot of bottled water and I'm like, why would you do that when you have the best tasting water in the state of Michigan right here?
This award has made me Arnold Schwarzenegger, because I have to carry it around all the time. I'm really getting muscles. But anyway, I'd like to, you know, this is just not the management of the water department. It's the water treatment plant workers, water distribution workers that Matt supervises. And it's just a testament to their hard work so we can pump water 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Not just a plain water, pure, clean, safe, and best tasting water in the state. Thank you.
One more thing, I don't want to drag this out, but I want to thank you all for standing behind us in this whole change out that we've done with going to granular activated carbon. We've gone through a lot in the last 5 years with PFAS, et cetera, and thank you for helping us get to this point too. So, thanks.
Fantastic. Well, again, thank you to you guys. Make sure your teams are all aware, to your point, Don, that we appreciate everyone's efforts that participates with our water treatment and all the steps along the way. Fantastic job, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, Kathleen?
I got one quick thing. Rick, I remember my first infrastructure meeting. In this room, I walked into standing room only with deer in the headlights,
Yep,
beginning the whole PFAS saga.
remember that, yep.
Yes, but, you know, I don't think Plainfield Township could ask for a better group of people to take care of our water. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. We couldn't trust you more. So congratulations.
And they're just going to do it.
Can I just say, in light of the PFAS, this really is amazing. And I know that there has been some tainted press on this, and I think it only speaks to the diligence and the hard work and the professionalism of all of you, and I couldn't be prouder. Thank you.
And I think you're just going to do a quick photo if you want to stand up here. Max is going to kind of direct you and.
Don, you're good at holding it.
Yeah,
You got it all
just
figured
the
out
old man's gotta hold it.
over there, out front.
You want
Aaron, come on, you're presenting it to us.
You sure?
Okay, Max, you gotta do some tricks.
You gotta get everybody else in the picture though.
Like this kind of thing? Yeah. And look this way? Don't laugh.
One, two, three, and one more. One, two, three. If you want to look at me, I can touch up. One, two, three.
Sorry for the added problem.
It really is a big deal. You should be proud.
Thank you, Aaron.
Hey, my pleasure. It's my favorite part of getting to do this stuff. Hey, not a problem.
Feel free to stick around, but you don't need to, so have a good night.
I got a 3-year-old at home who's going through a tantrum phase of finally getting home for leaving my wife on Valentine's Day. Thanks.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. We'll move on to our new business agenda for this evening. Our first item is to consider accepting a bid withdrawal from DeSalle Excavating and consider awarding a bid to Shippers Excavating for water supply extensions in Area 8A, Harrington Avenue and 10 Mile. Jen?
Yep, this is actually an unfortunate agenda item that is a result of supply chain issues and labor shortages, and it impacts us and the work that our staff do. on a regular basis now. And Rick is here to kind of talk us through what this change means and what the proposed solution is. So Rick?
Sure. So, you saw the memo in the agenda, obviously. We had bid opening for the first of our projects for this coming year for the Wolverine Extensions project. This one is a jumping board for the rest of them. So this one has to get done first, as quickly as possible, so that the subsequent projects can then take off from the end of this one. So timing was a big issue on this project. So we had a tight timeline in the specifications for the contractor to meet. They all knew that ahead of time before they bid it. The low bidder that we had, DeSalle Excavating, was forthcoming from the beginning with us, and due to some unforeseen carryover work from last year, loss of some staff, some crews over the winter, they no longer felt that they could do the job adequately to give us what we needed, and thereby requested to get withdrawn. The second low bidder was $300,000 higher than they were. We tried a few different things to try to convince them to stick it out and do the work, but they couldn't commit to it. So I guess what we're looking for is, I'm not sure that it needs a motion, but accepting their removal from the bid process, and then, you know, a motion to award it to the second low bidder, which is our recommendation. We've got,
Just for the sake of order here, any public comments on this issue? I guess I see no one, so we'll close the public comments and we'll move on to board discussion. Anybody have anything for Rick? I hate to do the roll call for, this is pretty simple to me. Susan?
Rick, can you tell us how the additional 300,000 is going to affect the budget for that project? Or are we going to, were we saving a great deal of money with the low bid?
yeah, so the low bid is actually now a little bit above what the estimate was. So yes, it hurts. But we've seen every bid of the last 2 years so far have come in under the original budget for the projects. So this one doesn't put us in danger of anything yet at this point.
Jack?
Are we entering now a phase where, because of issues, timing issues, that we're going to see a number of these bids go over?
Potentially, yes. One thing that we've done to Township have already ordered the materials for these projects. Typically, we bid it out, the contractor buys the materials, they do the labor, and it's all put in. We're doing it a little different this year to try to get ahead of some price hikes that we've heard are coming, and delivery timeframes. So we're trying to cut that off a little bit and get ahead of it for these. We'll see. Time will tell. I mean, it always takes a little bit for projects, contracts to see if the prices are gonna be jumping. Material prices are definitely going up, no doubt there. There's a lot of work, so the labor side of it, there's a lot of contractors looking for work. If that offsets enough the increase in materials to balance it out, we'll have to see. But
Good foresight that you would think to order some parts.
not typically
before-
done that way, but yeah,
No.
we've got the money to be able to do that ahead of time, so.
Good idea.
Anyone else? No? Okay. Okay, so at this time, I think to your point, Rick, I would look for a motion to,
I move to accept DeSalle Excavating Inc.'s request to withdraw their bid and award the bid to Skippers Excavating Inc. for water supply extensions in Area 8A, Harrington Avenue and 10 Mile Road in the amount of $1,112,000 $112,515 as presented.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Kathleen. Support from Bill. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Hagedorn.
Yes.
Ms. Beatty.
Yes.
Mrs. Merrill.
Yes.
Mr. Brinkman.
Yes.
Ms. Postmas, yes. Mr. Coleman.
Yes. So item 8B on our agenda is to consider striking uncollectible personal property taxes from 2009 to 2016. Jen, do you want to?
Certainly, this is an annual and routine process that the township goes through on an annual basis to strike delinquent property tax that is 5 years or older delinquent. And Treasurer Brinkman has been responsible for preparing that information. And I don't know, Bill, if you would like to provide additional information to the board regarding the personal property tax?
Certainly. Every year we run into this, and it's, there are certain people that this will not pay the taxes. Now, we have the right to go out and seize the property, as you know. We also have the right to sue them in court. But once it gets past the 5-year point, we can't do it anymore. And that's what we're cleaning up. We had agreements with lots of these people to do partial payments, but they didn't do it. And we got this information from our lawyer that we could do it. So we're just going to strike them. But from now on, there's going to be letters of demand very frequently, and we won't get to the 5-year period. We're not going to allow them to. When they get anywhere close to the 4th, I'm going to either seize or sue, one of the two. 2 S's.
Okay, thank you. Any public comment on this issue? Don't see public, so we'll close the floor for that, and we'll move into board discussion if there is any. Jack?
I think it's worthy to note that this is an 8-year thing, and it cost the township around $3,277 for this. And I think this is a fantastic amount a small amount, when you consider that there are hundreds of thousands of dollars that Bill is responsible to collect, and it's just this little amount that's left over. Considering also the fact that we had COVID and a lot of businesses couldn't make it through COVID and closed. So kudos to you, Bill.
Thank you.
Thank you. Susan?
Same comment. Congratulations. Same comment to Bill that it's an amazingly low amount of money, and well done.
Thank you.
I'd rather see that money go to the schools, because that's what we're shooting for, really. But if we don't collect that for them, and if we leave it hang out there, that actually works against the school, because they consider at the state level that that's an asset for the school, so they don't give them as much. And they didn't know that before we started this. And we got it. We don't want the schools taking the heat from this, so that's what we're trying to prevent.
Kathleen, any comments?
I'm all set.
Kathy, any comments?
I'm good, thank you.
I'm assuming you're okay, Bill, with where you're at?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would look for a motion at this time.
Support.
Thank you, Jack. Support from Susan. Roll call vote, please.
Ms. Beatty.
Yes.
Mrs. Merrill. Mr. Brinkman.
Yes.
Mr. Hagedorn.
Yes.
Ms. Postmas, yes. And Mr. Coleman.
Yes. Okay, Jen, it's superintendent comment times, so it's all you.
I
put
don't
you on the
have any
spot?
remarks to make.
You have no record? Oh, my goodness, okay. Well, then it's on us, guys. But I guess before I move to us, I see we have Lieutenant Kaminga. Don't think we've met. Have we met? I've met most people, but I think you were. Yeah, I was gone. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. If you have anything to update us on or anything, if you'd like to go to the stand and do that. If not, I just want to acknowledge you. Fantastic, thank you. And I don't want to be remiss and not acknowledge our fire chief, Chief McKellar in the audience. So, all right, board discussion. Let's go the other way this time. Bill?
Well, taxes have been coming in amazingly well this year without lots of lines and things like that. And that's really important. Because I can remember when we started, we had some big lines, but now it's It's smoothed out considerably, and that's good. And lots of the people are taking advantage of using check rather than credit cards, because that costs them, and/or cash. And at times, we've been receiving a substantial amount of cash into our treasury. That's good too, because people are paying it, and we don't, that'll keep down the delinquent personal property tax. And what's more, it'll keep people from, because being sent to the county where they'll foreclose on them, and then they lose their property. So it's best to keep after them as much as we can.
Okay, thank you for your efforts. Kathy?
I think I'm good.
Kathleen?
I'm all set, thank you.
Susan?
I have been spending a little time looking at the redistricting for Plainfield Township, and it will be on our agenda on February 28th. And in the meantime, I hope to spend a little bit of time talking to each one of you about what the situation what will be proposed on the 28th and how it will significantly affect Plainfield Township. And that's about all my concern.
All right, thank you. Jack?
I have nothing.
Okay. For me, I'd like to thank all of you for doing what you did while I was down in Florida. The weather wasn't real phenomenal, but we were still not in snow. So Susan, I did follow on the live stream, and thank you for pitch hitting when I was gone. So I'll get back into the swing of things here in the next little bit. Otherwise, I really don't have anything right now either. So, very good. I don't know, this could be a world's record, but 6:23, we are adjourned.